It's time for Nip Talk.
We're going to do the Nip Talk 911. You familiar with the actor Zac Efron?
Yes.
Okay, I was too.
I'm familiar with his muscles.
Yeah, he has gotten kind of muscly. So this is him. Now this picture is a little bit older. This is like from the early teens, I believe.
Yes.
But like that's just, you know, a regular picture
Musical.
of him. So in spring of the 2021, there was a little controversy with him because he, after not being, I guess, in the media for a while, did like some interview and he looked completely different. Can you throw up the next one, Travis? Yeah, I mean, he's obviously aged a little bit, but like the shape of his jaw is like way different. Not to mention his cheeks are fuller, and I think I have a side by side. Yep. So that's roughly the same age. He's a little bit, I think, younger in the left picture. But to me, I look at those pictures and I'm like, wow, like there really is a lot of like difference.
He looks like puffy.
Yeah, his cheeks look puffy. His jaw looks like an anvil. Like it's a good-looking jaw. Like it's very strong.
Very square.
But it's very different
Yeah.
than what he had just recently. And so that was in 2021 in the spring. And so there was all of this like you know controversy and questions on the internet and social media about did he have jaw implants or like did he have a bunch of fillers?
I remember.
You do. See,
Yes.
I guess I need to like be a little bit more in tune with this stuff because I just missed it or I just didn't happen to see it. So last week or the week before, in the last 2 weeks, he came out and basically broke the silence on what was going on. And so his story was that he was running through his house with socks on, slipped and hit his face on a granite counter, basically knocked himself out. He didn't really specify what his injuries were, like it didn't go into any detail, but he said, and I quote, that my chin bone was hanging off of my face, which I have no idea what he means by that. I just can only assume that like maybe he
Sounds like a good story.
Yeah, it sounds like a good story. So then he went on to say that due to his injury, that his masseter muscle, and I have a picture, Travis, I think the masseter muscle is like the next pic. Yeah, so that's your masseter. It's one of your muscles of mastication, which is chewing, which it is on the side of your face, kind of where, you know, the angle of your jaw is. He said that because of his injury, his masseter muscle got hyper enlarged, and that's why his jaw looks different. And so I have a little bit of knowledge in this. Like I'm not like a craniofacial specialist in plastic surgery, but I did do a ton of craniofacial reconstruction when I was a resident because, you know, I was working at a level 1 trauma center, treated tons of people with jaw injuries. And I never in my day have ever seen anyone get a masseter muscle get large to the point that it would look like the changes that he had. Like, I think that is total, like, untrue. Like, I think he's just saying that, you know, that there's just no way I think that his masseter muscle on both sides, because you see how even it is. Like, it's like perfectly even.
Was he not like allowed to like move his like talk? Like, because I know when people get like jaw surgery, they like have their mouth like wired shut.
You're very right, very smart. Yes, so like when people break their jaws, and so just to kind of get into that, if you break your jaw and the jaw isn't like displaced in a great amount of deal, or if your teeth are not messed up, because what happens a lot of times when you break your jaw, there's a lot of muscles on your jawbone, and those muscles will pull your jaw out of alignment, and then your teeth won't fit right. So when people have jaw injuries like mandible fractures or maxillary fractures, which is the top part, the first thing I would do is check and say, okay, do your teeth line up? If your teeth line up, then you can just wire their jaw shut for 4 weeks and then they'll heal. But if they don't line up, then you actually have to go in there and reposition those bones, and you have to put a plate on the bone, and then you wire their jaw shut. And those plates are permanent. And so thinking about like his injury, yep, and there they are right there. So that's a picture of, you can imagine those two lines being a fracture, and those are the reconstruction plates that you would put on the jaw. So when I look at his picture and think, okay, you know, he's saying I didn't have, you know, surgery. Well, actually, I don't guess he didn't really say one way or the other. He just kind of gave his answer and didn't really like dig into like what may have happened. You know, I'm thinking to myself, okay, what really happened here? And I have two possible scenarios. One, he just had cosmetic surgery. He wanted to have a square jaw. They put in some jaw implants, and that's why he looks different. And that to me is the obvious, most likely answer, just because of the appearance of it. His jaw looks good. Like it's very like strong, and it's very symmetric. And you know, the obvious answer is that he had jaw implants. But could there be another answer? I personally think the master stuff is total nonsense. I just do not believe that at all. But what could have happened? Well, if he actually fractured his jaw, he may have had to have a plate put on one side, which therefore, if it was a bad enough fracture and had enough plates, could change the shape of that jaw. And then he went to the other side and made it look symmetric by adding an implant or something.
Right.
So I don't know what the right answer is. I know it's not just that his muscles got bigger, because I've just never in my life heard of something like that.
Do we have like a picture of what he looks like right now?
I don't. Like, those are the most recent.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I did find one from a Men's Health from more recently, but it looked the same. Like, it wasn't like, I don't think that was like his picture because he was swollen.
Yeah.
I feel like we can come up with a new like segment for the show. Is Dr. Herman's or Dr. Bruce Herman's BS Buster.
Busted.
That was a great
Busted.
Story.
Yeah, and then you can put like a little stamp on the picture.
Boom. All right, man. Trovis, we got to work on that for next week.
Let's do it.
Busted. No, and and I don't like to dog on, I feel like celebrities are a little bit of,
Well, he definitely did not need plastic surgery.
No, he was so good looking, right?
He's like an angel baby.
Yeah, he looks so good, right? Yeah, and so I don't know, like I have to imagine the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine maybe that like he slipped, he got a fracture, maybe he did have to have surgery to fix it.
Like,
and then,
I know I broke my arm when I was in 5th grade, and I had to be in a cast, and I had pins in my elbow right here.
Uh-huh.
And my bone is bigger. Like, this bone is different than this arm.
Right, because of the way it healed.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
So I could see that if he had surgery.
Yes. Right, and so, and that's where I'm thinking that, okay, maybe he didn't have cosmetic surgery, maybe it was traumatic, and then it's the plates, and then, it would be weird if it came out looking that good from a traumatic injury. You'd figure it'd be more asymmetric, but maybe he adjusted one side or whatever.
I mean, he's got the money to make sure he
Yeah.
looks.
But I hope he didn't have plastic surgery. Like, I really hope.
I hope not either.
Because he's so good looking.
He is.
Like, why would he do that? I mean, he looks good now, too, but like,
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Why would you do that? He needs to come on the show. That's what needs to happen.
That'd be nice.
Zach, come on the show.
I'd allow it.
Yeah, you can sit next to Sarah. I don't know. Maybe we could Farkle to see who gets to sit next to him.